Side note, Alex, speaking of water and watering yourself, did you see my Facebook post in the Paragon group 2 days ago when we were flying to Texas?
I don't think so. I've been dead the whole, the past whole week. Yeah.
So I want to paint a picture. So the backstory being I'm a cactus, I hate drinking water, suck at it, never thirsty, whatever. And so all my friends like to throw shade. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna have fun with this. So it's like now I do stuff and I'll like post it in our Paragon group just to, make people laugh and stuff. So paint the picture, completely full airplane, except for we actually had an empty seat in the middle. So like I'm on the aisle seat. Dude is on the window seat. So dude in the window seat is asleep when the people like come by with the cart with the beverages. And me being like the person I am, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get ahead of this. And so when they come by with the cart, I'm like, yo, can I take an OJ?
Oh, I saw
and
this.
Can I take a water? And the lady's like, oh yeah, totally. And like gives me my 2 cups. And so the person that I was sitting, in the row with, we both had our stuff stashed like under the middle seat so that we could like have more room for our feet. And so like quite literally, I like chug my OJ and I'm like sick. And so dude in the aisle seat wakes up and I think he must have just assumed that like the flight attendants were like, oh, okay, we'll just like leave him a water. So like literally he wakes up, chugs my water and I'm like literally like the look on my face because I was just like, I actually wanted that water. Like, no.
Oh, man.
But mutually it's like, and totally like, it's like, he wouldn't know that I ordered two drinks. Sure. But I just thought that was too good. But I
love you. You're trying.
Oh, but still I was very salty and dehydrated when I got off that flight. Let's see what I know.
Oh, go ahead.
I was like, I'm a finger sign. I got this one. The one that I really would put high up on the totem pole was when I was starting my nutrition health journey. I thought that to be healthy, I should cook exotic meals. And I would like spend literal hours on Pinterest being like, pin. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make this. And same thing, I would like go to the grocery store and be like, putting all these ingredients in my cart. Oh, I bought this
cookbook.
The plate
like so pretty, like, as aesthetically beautiful as possible. And like the arrangement.
Like these meals would be like, here's my bacon wrapped asparagus and here's my chicken breast that's been marinated in OJ and thyme and rosemary and all this BS, right? And so like the big mistake that I made and that I also see people making is that we're spending all this time doing stuff and we're spending so much energy in the kitchen on these, like beautiful meals, these big picture perfect things. And so we're doing the most, but we're expending all this energy on like fancy recipes and fancy meals when at the end of the day, like calories are calories. And so it's like, there would be no different outcome than like if you went to the store and bought stuff that was like slightly prepped or, like minimally prepped where it was like, hey, I could also make a meal where it's like, hey, I got these chicken breasts that are already pre-grilled. I just need to heat them up. Hey, I went to Trader Joe's. I got microwave asparagus rather than, rather than you're roasting asparagus in the oven. And so the big take home, that was a big long-winded, way to say you don't have to spend hours and hours in the kitchen. You don't have to spend hours and hours cooking and cleaning and doing the most. That is also time and energy that reversely too, you could also be spending doing other habits, getting steps, being active, going to the gym. It's like all of this is figuring out like, how can we do the least while getting the most? And I do agree that like there is a happy medium of like kind of connecting with your food in terms of if you're always like dining out or eating out at restaurants, you do kind of lose the value of like, it does hit a little different when it's like you assemble the meal, you put a little love into what you're doing, right? And so it's like, how do we like land somewhere in the middle of like, hey, we don't have to be cooking everything from scratch. But meanwhile, like how can we find ways to maximize our time and the way that we're spending our energy? And so like that's kind of where the whole like cooking is canceled idea came in 2019, 2020 for me was like, oh, well, our business started blowing up during the pandemic. And it was like, I don't have time to cook. Like I got work stuff to do. I'm staying up until, 2 a.m. every night, typing away on my computer and doing all this stuff. Like I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to go be doing all these things. And so I started seeking out these foods of like, hey, how can I find proteins that have already been cooked for me? They're not like super processed. You can certainly find all the things, but it's like present day, like you can find pretty high quality stuff that's very minimally processed, which is awesome.
Yeah. Because I mean, I think companies are catching on that people don't want to, they want it easy. They want it easy for sure.
So Charlie was just saying on the way here, and I don't remember what the statistic percentage was, but he was basically saying he like just had read a stat yesterday morning that was talking about people are now starting to dine out more than they are cooking from home. And so we were kind of talking about it. And to be honest, I think it's a generation swing because it's like, I can speak personally, like my mom, it was like, we would come home and it'd be like she was always cooking meals, cooking dinner, doing the most. And it's like I said, like I went through a phase of like, yeah, meal prep. And then I was like, no, meal prep. And even still, it's like my life would be so much easier if I could go back to that. But like we can't get on that bus. Like I just can't get back to giving a fuck because it's like, especially now being in California, why would I spend time in the kitchen when I could be out hiking or at the beach or at the mountains or at the gym or, like living life and living big, right? Like I cannot be bothered to raise a finger in the kitchen.